days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time. Thank you, everyone, for waiting as we were getting set up. We were enjoying the game and then, went to the studio to get ready. So this is exciting. As you can see, it is a 3-man party today for the reaction show. If you don't know us, especially this guy, get to know him. You're probably going to hate him within a couple of minutes. No, but it was a fun game. It was an interesting game because there were some things that were shaky. Definitely to start off. Then there were some glimpses of just greatness. According to everyone that was texting me, there was just greatness abound, and none better than Kai Nakua.
Oh yeah, man. Totally. Yeah, Kai Nakua for sure, right? For sure, guys.
Oh, man. Today I made my return with Eric Armstead. I felt like we're the same level.
Okay.
I'll come back the same day.
Sounds
you
great.
guys, I'm holding for applause right now. Good to see you guys, too. Yeah, that was, if I can reach the level of Kai Nakua of greatness, then I'm doing something.
And Nakua didn't look bad. It's just the overreaction, right?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey man, look what magically fixed itself, guys. The chat did. That's impressive.
That's fantastic. Thank you, chat, for fixing yourself. Maybe Stream Elements was in the background working on it the whole time.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows indeed. But look, tons of great things to talk about with all of this. Tons of things that we got to go over. But before we get to any of that, and we're not talking about training camp, so ignore that. Don't even worry about it. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. Hit that notification bell. Join the Discord. It was popping. It was live during the Discord today, all throughout the game. We had a lot of fun. Got a nice little thread going. A lot of conversation going back and forth. But there's just a lot of conversation about this team going back and forth, kind of just everywhere, right? Just everywhere. Guys, some big things or some key things that you took away from today's game. And we'll start with you. One thing from today's game is against the Chargers, this preseason game, week 2. What is one thing that you saw that you liked?
I like that the D-line looked absolutely fantastic. There were questions after last week. We've been saying for a while that this D-line depth was good. We got to see the first time we got to see Samson Ebukam out there playing, in a game for the 49ers. I thought he looked good. Jordan Willis looked fantastic. Zach Kerr looked great. Maurice Hurst looked good. Kentavious Street looked good. So I thought overall the defensive line stepped up, played well, showed what they're about, and that's what the 49ers are going to do all season long. This is the deepest defensive line in football. There's no question. They were able to display that today, and I think ultimately they're going to display it all season. I think people are going to be pleasantly happy and excited all year for what they do. Not only run stopping, but also getting after the quarterback. You've seen that there is some speed issues on the edge when you don't have D Ford, Nick Bosa, and those guys out there. But when they do have those guys, it's going to be hard for these quarterbacks to get outside the pocket, and these inside guys are going to eat.
Yeah, I really enjoyed seeing Willis out there making plays. He's a guy that we've always thought had a ton of potential. We knew after a full off season working with Coach Kasarik that there was a chance he could become a really solid player. Too bad we don't have him in the first 6 games. I enjoyed Hufanga today. I thought he made some nice plays. Marcel Harris in the fourth quarter I thought had a couple nice plays, especially that big hit at the end. Who else? Let's see. Kentavious Street I thought had a really nice game. Mohamed Sanu, it was nice to see him catch a touchdown. And then, let's see, there was one other guy I thought had a nice game that was in my head.
I don't know, but it's not that good in your head because you can't
remember. It can't be that good if I can't remember
Lost in your head, hopefully not lost on the minds of the 49ers, or he will not make this roster horse.
Oh, man, I hope I don't mess up. Jonas Griffith.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, don't forget Jonas. You almost ruined his chances of making the 49ers by not being able to get him out of your brain.
Can't believe you would do that to him, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Ant's been all over this, and you're just trying to ruin it for him. Look,
ruining it. Soiled it.
Ruining it, indeed. Totally soiling it. Look, I enjoyed the D-line play, obviously. That was the big thing that I think all of us took from it. Eric Armstead looked phenomenal at the start of the game when he came in, right? Alex Barrett had some moments where he shined. Willis had some moments where he shined. Kentavious Street had moments. Zach Kerr looked like an absolute force pretty much all night long. And Maurice Hurst got off to a good start, and then the ankle stuff and not great there. But I got to give some props and I got to give some credit to Travis Benjamin and to Mohamed Sanu. Travis Benjamin tonight looked pretty phenomenal. He was great on the offense. He got open a lot of his routes, created a lot of separation, a lot of space. And again, the thing that we had been kind of saying about Mohamed Sanu, right, that we had all kind of talked about with this guy, yes, the speed is probably not there anymore, but the craftiness to get open, that red zone touchdown that he showed it. The clever route, delays off the snap, is able to get that inside release, create that little bit of separation, sit down right in the soft spot in the zone, and Lance fires a hard ball. So all he needs is a little bit of time and window. When Lance makes his right reads and gets the ball out on time, you don't really have to worry about the ball not getting there, right, or it being contested or broken up. It's not going to be. The question with Lance is right now, it's just going to be, is he going to make the read as quick as he needs to make it, and is he going to get the ball out of his hands when it needs to come out?
And is he going to throw the ball through you?
There's
a potential, if you don't catch the ball, it's going to go absolutely through you. He throws the ball so hard and with so much velocity. That is something I think he's going to work on as he gets more seasoned as a quarterback. But there were a lot of bright spots in this game, and I thought overall the 49ers played well. I thought it was a shaky start. I'm sure everyone's going to want to talk about Jimmy Garoppolo, leaving that ball high.
Cutback crew's asking a lot about cuts right now. They want cut predictions right now.
Do we want to get into cuts right now?
No, I don't think we can. Right? I think we need a little bit more time to evaluate film, look at things again.
They're all about cuts. Yeah, I would definitely like to watch the film more before I talk about cuts.
I need a haircut.
I did point out a couple guys that are probably going to be gone.
Yeah, he did.
It's true.
It's unfortunate, but I think with the Jimmy Garoppolo pass, I think Jimmy left it high. And I think ultimately, Brandon Ayuk should have caught it. I think they're both at fault on this. Jimmy needs to get the ball down. It's a great route. He's wide open.
It was a clean route.
All he's got to do is get the ball there where he can run. He might even be able to get into the end zone. Jimmy leaves it high, and then Brandon's not able to come down with it. They need to clean that up. But both quarterbacks left balls over the middle high. It seemed like Trey, once he got into a rhythm and got against the second team, that he really executed. The one he had to Travis Benjamin was a nice dime that he threw. I'm not ready to say elite like some people text me and said he was elite. It's a great play by an NFL quarterback. That's what makes him an NFL caliber quarterback. But ultimately, that is a solid play, and you want to see that from your quarterbacks. But I thought shakiness early, and then they were able to kind of work it out. And then that's what you expect from the quarterback play. I'm not too surprised we didn't get more from Jimmy. We're going to get more from Jimmy next week. Jimmy's going to play a full half.
That was one thing that I thought Lance did great was the 2-minute drill. So I can't. Who just put that up that he settled in? Yeah. Josh Hutchins put up that he settled down after 2-minute drill.
Yeah.
I thought he really came in. That was a nice 2-minute drill.
Yeah, and that's been an issue for him during training camp.
So I was glad to see
situational football. Because usually you would see the deep ball like you got from to Sherfield,
yep,
and then the drive would stall and you would end up with a field goal.
Correct.
In this case, he got into the red zone, and that's what we've saw from the entire training camp. Is Trey Lance is dynamic in the red zone. He is very successful, and he proved it again today. The red zone opportunity was nice. It was nice seeing them try to go for two, at least give the the effort to.
The look, yeah.
And he did what he was supposed to do. He ended up getting the ball into the end zone for two. Of course, we get the holding on Jalen Moore, but I think still everyone got to see a little bit of what Trey Lance can do. Now people are going to go over the top. That they need to do this every play, every situation. Kyle's holding him back.
Got to look what the Bears are doing, right? Got to do what the Bears are doing.
I'm not going to lie to you,
man.
On Madden 22, taking off with Lance works.
That's great for Madden 22.
You're right. They should do what the Bears do and let Trey Lance get absolutely ear-holed.
From the blind side. Oh, actually, excuse me. From his actual side. Wasn't even his blind side. Directly in front of him.
Funny. That was not nice.
It was not good at all. Look, there were a lot of good things.
Caleb, I'm sorry.
Some only QB that didn't throw a pick. Yeah, but he had one of the worst fumbled exchanges there with Dakota Shepley that I'd seen.
Alex, acknowledge it.
I'm going to acknowledge that fumble. It was pretty gosh darn bad. Look, there were positives from Trey Lance tonight. There were some negatives also, and not just the pick and some of the throws over the middle being high, which Jimmy had and struggled with as well, but the lack of recognition sometimes. There was that play to Richie James, right? They run the naked boot. James kind of slips out and runs a little slip right underneath, and he holds onto the ball way too long before he actually gets rid of it to Richie James in space. And in all honesty, if he gets the ball out to Richie James a little earlier, there's a good chance that Richie James is able to stretch towards the sideline and then cut back across the grain and make an even bigger play. Trey holds onto it a little bit longer, gets the ball to Richie James, and Richie James gets a nice gain, but also almost takes a nice big fat hit at the end of it as well. That kind of stuff with Trey is going to take time with him getting comfortable and knowing how to get rid of the ball quickly, right? And doing it fast. That sometimes it's not in those situations. Technique be darned. You know what the read is. You know what the play is designed for. Get it out. Get it to your guy. Let him go make a play.
There's also the same chance that Richie James drops it, to be fair.
Yeah.
Accurate as well. That's not wrong.
You're right, though, because Richie James is drifting. And if Trey gets him the ball early, he's protected. Well, he's not protected once he starts drifting down the field. He's gonna take a hit. If this was, if that was Derwin James that was playing safety, Richie James wouldn't need to be cut because he'd be in pieces on the field because he would have been absolutely lambasted. Yeah, I know, Horse. That's the word of the day. But it's one of those things he's gonna learn. He's gonna pick up. He's gonna get better. As far as one thing I saw from Jimmy that I liked today was the fact his feet were moving consistently in the pocket. He has a bad trait of standing flat-footed in the pocket. Today, the feet were moving as he was going through his reads and then ultimately hitting his checkdowns. He was still getting pressure, but another thing I thought was very good today from the team was the offensive line play. They played more like of what we expected, right? That's just what we've seen through camp. I thought it was definitely stabilized. Trey Lance had clean pockets. Jimmy Garoppolo had clean pockets. Were there times of pressure? Yes. But also in the run game, they were very successful. And until they got to the third unit with Kafasi, Gary, there you go. There's one of your cuts. He was getting worked by Lemonnier off the outside.
Yeah.
And that guy had some holding as well. I think he's going to be one of the cuts that comes down the line. He just didn't look good. And unfortunately, his number's going to get called. The bell will toll for him.
Not going to be good for him.
No.
It's really not. And look, is there anyone else? Is there anyone defensively, Horst, other than I know you'd mentioned and brought up Jonas Griffith? Is there anyone in the secondary that you liked, or from the linebacking core that you liked, other than Griffith?
I brought up Hufanga. Jared Maiden obviously had a nice play with the pick.
Should have been a pick six.
It should have been a pick six.
I thought Diamador Lenore had some nice plays out there. Ambry Thomas did not. He struggled a little bit,
but he did excellent against the run.
He did.
He did do really good against the run.
Stuffing people against the run. He's still having a little bit of problems with grabbing and making contact. He's going to have to learn that's the difference between big 10 football and NFL football. You're just not allowed to get away with that.
Yeah, I didn't mean it as cut him. I just meant.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
He just struggled a little bit.
No, see, we're reasonable over here. We know that when you say that, it's not bad.
Other linebackers, I'm trying to think as far as today. To be honest, people might not like my take. I was a little disappointed in Greenlaw.
Well, I mean,
there was a couple of run plays where he got driven out of the play.
I saw a couple of run plays where he lost footing. Like he lost footing over pursuit, so I don't know.
There's one where he gets a little bit too far outside, and he should have squeezed it more, and they run up inside of him. And then a lot of it, what they were having problems with was the double teams were pressing, pushing those guys into the linebackers.
Yeah.
They're not able to get downhill. Was he struggling a little bit? Yes. But I think we're asking a little bit too much of him because he doesn't have All-Pro Fred next to him. Or if you have All-Pro Fred, he's going to get him in the right sets, the right places. And also, then Dre is able to kind of operate off of that. So I think without his running mate, he's going to struggle a little bit. But I thought he looked great last week. And
Agreed. I thought last week.
I thought he looked good this week, but not as good as he did last week. But I guess it could be to be expected. I guess with the fact you don't have a running mate like Fred in there.
That's very true indeed. And Megan there with a wonderful, incredible super chat, $4.99.
Incredible.
It was wonderful, incredible. Yeah. It's a great question as well. Which running back do you guys think was more impressive tonight?
Ooh, I'll wait.
I'll start with it if you want. I'll start with it. I thought personally tonight specifically was JaMychal Hasty. I thought he also had more opportunities and more touches, and that's why I would have to give him the edge there and give him the heads up, is that he was the one. Right, he was the one that had the more opportunities, and I thought he had more bigger runs. I thought he looked more consistent. I didn't see as many negative runs from him. I saw a couple of negative runs from Wayne Gallman. Now, those weren't his fault per se. A lot of the time, someone got blown up on the O-line, or there was one I remember specifically where Jalen Moore was asked to make a really, really hard block coming across. Wasn't able to make it, and then Gallman got absolutely stuffed in the backfield. So JaMychal Hasty, I thought impressed, but I also think JaMychal Hasty, out of all the running backs right in this room, needed that. He needed that tonight, and he came out and showed it.
He's trending up. Go ahead, Horst.
Is it bad that I want to say neither?
You weren't impressed with either guy.
Hasty, I guess, in a way. Gallman, a lot of his problems were no hole. Hasty, it's just like he's made some nice runs, but I thought his best play was that screen at the end that he caught and turned up, the one where he got grabbed by his dreadlocks.
Okay.
I thought that was his most impressive play of the day. I I don't know. I'm still waiting for him to make the oh my gosh play.
Okay.
Fair. Okay.
I'm going to just completely disagree with my counterpart over here.
Fair.
I'm going to say that actually both guys played really well today. I thought JaMychal Hasty looked explosive. His jump cuts were on point. His vision was overall better than we've seen it because a lot of times he would run into offensive linemen or straight into defensive guys, where this time he was pressing to the line of scrimmage and making cuts. I did see him miss a couple holes, but that's going to happen. And I thought Wayne Gallman overall looks so successful in the interior run game. Is when he gets outside that he struggles. When he stays inside, he's successful, but that's the role that he's going to have in this offense in the red zone, finishing these runs on 4th and 1, finishing around the goal line. So I thought both guys looked good in the system. And the kind of the skill set that they're going to be used and the role that they're going to be used. So 100% I thought both guys did well.
Wait, are we talking Hasty versus last year?
I think we're talking Hasty in the game. I thought he looked good in the game.
I thought he did too.
Versus
Personally.
last year, yes, he looks way better. I think I agree.
Yeah, but what is your standard?
I thought he didn't from last week to this week.
I mean, the dude averaged 6.3 yards last week, and he probably averaged over 5 this week.
I thought
No, I was saying he didn't look better than last week.
Okay.
This
Okay,
week is
fair
what
enough. That's fair.
That's what I thought you were asking.
David with the $5 super chat as well. I didn't want to miss this because David donated. He said hashtag TCC, and then he left off a little hasty as well. So he was obviously thinking it was hasty. I like you had kind of brought up, and I wanted to piggyback off it because I thought it was important to piggyback off of. Both guys looked fine.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see anything wrong with either guy. Some people on Twitter, I saw some 49ers fans on Twitter, there's no explosive run. This is not the big hitting run. It's like, well, your big home run hitter is not on the
He's
field.
not playing.
Yeah, Mostert's not out there right now. So you can't expect the big home run hits when your home run hitter's not out there, right? And then even then, I would expect Trey Sermon to have bigger runs and better opportunities to run right now in this system because of the physical size and the ability to break tackles and things of that nature than a guy like Hasty or even a guy like Gallman at times. Also, can we take a chill pill because your two of your anchors on the O-line still are not playing? Alex Mack is not out there and Trent Williams is not out there. So can we reserve panic or a complete evaluation of the run game until we get all of these guys out there? We get the 5 guys that are supposed to be out there playing in space before we make any sort of decision. Because I think if you get Alex Mack out there, Brendel had some moments tonight, right? Like I thought he had some good plays tonight, but there were also times where I was like, oh my God. Like, no, this line operates different when Brendel's out there.
First off, those Twitter posts that you just talked about explosive plays, that's absolutely cringe for me because since when is 4 or 5 yards not an explosive offensive run?
2 of those is the first down.
So that is absolutely fantastic when you're running the ball like that. That is how you just impose your will on a defense and set the tone for your play action and everything. Make safeties have to jump in the box. No defense wants to give up 4 to 5 yards a carry. So that is unfortunately a bad take on the running game in general.
Mm-hmm.
Explosive plays in the passing game is one thing, but in the run game, Raheem Mostert's going to get those. But what's wrong with 4 or 5 yards? That's wonderful.
Let me recant a little bit because what I meant was I wasn't blown away. I thought they both played well. I didn't mean they stunk. I just meant I didn't think either separated themselves.
Okay.
They both ran the ball fine in the scheme. They were getting, like you said, he probably averaged 5 yards a carry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that. To me, both those guys are solid players that should make the team. That's my thought process on the 2 guys.
Yeah.
So that's all I meant is neither of them made a jump in my mind where I already have them.
That's right.
So I already have them as both solid running backs already.
That's good. I feel really bad for D'Amico Ryans and Chris Kasarik because how are you going to make cut decisions on this defensive line?
What do you mean?
It's going to be tough, dude.
Is it?
You don't think so?
No, I think it's really defined because you have 10 guys that are absolutely wonderful and a couple of guys that are on the brink. You have one guy that's going to start the season on suspension. So
Accurate.
ultimately, the cuts aren't. I mean, we like some of these guys, but they're winning against 3s.
That's,
you know what I mean?
That is fair.
Like Yarbrough, for instance. We like him, but he's winning against 2s and 3s.
I haven't seen. That's one guy I haven't seen a whole lot of when he's gone in there with the ones or with those fringe 1-2 guys. I haven't seen as much from him. Like we saw it in camp, right, in some of the practices, but not so much in game. It hasn't translated over. I meant just more of like with your streets of the world, right? I think Alex Barrett has had moments, but he hasn't been consistent.
Cut.
I mean, I think you're right. Does he end up somewhere, or can he make it onto the practice
He'll
squad?
end up on another team.
I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't end up on the Jets.
It's probably fair.
You know what I mean? There's going to be opportunities for these guys that are going to get cut. They're tough cuts, but not compared to those guys that you have in that front part of that defensive line. I mean, is it stout? Absolutely. But 10, 11 guys, yeah, you're probably going to have one hard cut. I think they already know what they're going to do. You know what I mean?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I still just wouldn't want them to have to make that decision because I feel like top to bottom as a whole right now, this group is playing pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's kind of like a couple of these guys are diet sodas trying to mix it up with the regular soda.
1 calorie.
They're good for a little bit, but you're still going to get fat drinking them.
Accurate.
Hey, by the way, Jay Ellie, I would like to disagree. I think that Shepley held that snap short that got dropped.
I honestly don't know.
I couldn't tell
from the film that I saw. I don't know if he hit his bottom hand. I don't know if he hit it right. I don't know. It didn't look like he fired out because most of the time when you have the bad snap, you have the center that fires out and the ball comes up short and this quarterback doesn't get it. But it looked like it was on Sudfeld's hands. So I don't know exactly what happened there. I don't think we got sweaty issues like we did with Alex Mack that made the ball slippery.
Probably not. Probably not. That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that. And what I want to know from you guys. Was there a position tonight that underperformed in your eyes, that didn't do something that you wanted to see from them?
There's the starting receivers.
So are you...
As far as drops.
Do you feel that there was an excessive amount of drops?
I think Ayuk dropped 2, right?
2, but one of them was pretty difficult. That one that ended in a pick was going to be tough. Was going to be tough no matter what.
Once again, when I say this, I'm not overreacting and saying he sucks.
Correct.
I'm just saying I thought he had a poor performance today. With the drops.
Fair.
Richie James had another drop, right?
Went right through his hands, correct.
And did Sanu drop at 1 too? Or
Sanu dropped one that ended. Oh, so one hit Sanu in the hands that was high that ended up in a pick.
They're dropping 100-mile-an-hour footballs.
True.
I mean, Trey Lance, that one to Sanu.
I don't know.
That was on him before. That was Colin Kaepernick style hotness of football.
True.
I don't think Sanu actually saw the whole thing.
I don't think Richie James saw the whole thing when the ball went through his hands. He had that look like it's already here. Like, what the heck happened? And that's why that ball that came out to Sanu, a lot of people thought it was tipped because it was kind of fluttering. It was not tipped. He's squeezing the ball too tight. He's too amped when he's first starting to play. You squeeze that football too tight and you throw, it's going to do that. You're not going to get a nice tight spiral. The ball got better later on as he eased in and he got calm. There is some growth for that Trey needs to make. I've seen a question come through that said, do we think Trey is getting better? 100% Trey is getting better.
Yes.
From the first time we saw him until now, he is getting better. But it's a process because everyone was already saying he should be 100 overall on Madden. And he was not ready for that. And we knew he wasn't ready for that. He's still learning this offense. He's getting deep into it. But he's got a lot of room to grow.
Correct.
And as he grows, everything's going to slow down. Everything's going to get easier. You saw times today where he's able to move in the pocket, move around, and he's going to be able to extend plays. But he's still holding on to the ball too long, and that's something that needs to change, but he will get there.
Yeah, I mean, none of us hate Trey. We just are being realists about his readiness to play in a real NFL game. And Caleb, you won the day with that. He snapped the ball right into them cheeks.
Yeah. Hey, Hunkta 23 Kappa. BA needs to get that. Number one wideouts catch that 99% of the time. 100% agree. I was thinking to myself, Julio would have caught that.
Accurate.
And I was thinking about all the other
D-Hop would have caught that.
They would have caught that.
That's what I meant about the receivers being a little bit disappointing.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say they were disappointing. I just think that there were opportunities for them to make plays that they didn't capitalize on. What?
Like Jay Guayo.
Oh, okay. Anyways, I thought Horse was laughing at something I said.
No,
apparently, he's just reading comments, so you guys are doing a great job making Horse laugh.
Good job.
But no, I do. I think the receivers overall played decent. The fact Deebo Samuel was out there was a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was worried about the MRI.
You mean to tell me that everyone hit the panic button too early?
100%. 100%. He grabbed the hamstring. It must be the worst thing. No, I think we're okay there. So I think we're in a good story or a good part. Do we have questions? Because I know there's questions coming through.
Well, I mean, I wanted to. The one thing that I was disappointed in per se was just the amount of calls, the amount of flags. I don't know if I'm disappointed yet in the Niners or if I'm just disappointed in the officials just not being. One of the points of emphasis this year is supposed to be not calling the ticky-tack stuff that has nothing to do with the play. So if it's completely out of the play, right, you're not supposed to be calling. They don't want them making those calls this year because it takes away from the form, especially if it has no impact on the play.
Right.
It felt like there was a lot of those tonight. It was on both sides of the ball, but it felt like it was a lot of those tonight that just didn't need to be called. The one on BW Webb that set up that first touchdown drive, it wasn't even a pass directed at him. No. It wasn't going to the guy that he was covering. The guy was nowhere near it. He wasn't going to make the play. There was no reason to make any sort of call there whatsoever. It was a badly thrown ball. It was just a situation where you threw the ball up and you get bailed out by that kind of stuff. I was disappointed in that. It's week 2 of the preseason. I want to be able to see these guys play, right? See them execute, ball to be able to move downfield. What I don't want is 50,000 flags being thrown out, the ball good plays being negated by dumb stuff.
Yeah, I thought the defensive line actually did hold, though, a lot.
They did.
Gibbons was getting caught. They were definitely getting caught holding. They need to get better at disguising their holds. They were definitely trying to keep their linebackers clean, and they were getting nailed. That back judge had one heck of a cannon.
Was the one where he was reached all the way out like that,
yes,
grabbing the guy's chest?
Yeah, it was.
Correct. So we had a couple people who had said a couple of things. Essentially, James is gone from Freestomp 49er. Why can't anyone catch the ball? You get paid to catch the dang ball, Brandon. How many drops are we going to make excuses for?
I don't think anyone made excuses.
Well, if Freestomp was on our last one, the last reaction show, we talked about the drop Brandon Ayuk had over the middle, in which Trey Lance threw him the ball pretty far out wide, leading him into another defender. And I felt, personally, that Brandon Ayuk made a business decision. This is a preseason game. I'm not making that catch. I'm not going for that right now. I'm about to get smacked, and didn't. The one today with Jimmy up high, you got to come down with that, ideally, right? A couple people in the Discord had asked, and they were talking to me about this, and they were talking to the whole Cutback crew about this, and they said, well, who is that more on? And I said, well, in all honesty, personally, like my personal opinion, it's more on Jimmy than it is on Ayuk, because Jimmy can't put the ball up that high across the middle of the field. However, if you're Brandon Ayuk, this is what you dream for as a wide receiver, these moments. Where the quarterback puts the ball in reach, right? It's not a perfect throw, but it's a time for you to go up and make a play. This is your moment. These are the moments you dream of as a wide receiver, going up and making the big catch, the highlight reel catch that goes up on ESPN, right? That gets plastered everywhere. Those are the moments that start solidifying you as a great wide receiver in this league. You have to come down with those things. As much as I want Jimmy to make a better throw there, and that in the sense of getting that ball down in space, Brandon Ayuk is capable of making the catch. So go do it, young man.
If he's capable of making the catch, how does Jimmy share more of the blame than Brandon Ayuk? How are they not both sharing this blame?
They're not both sharing the blame because your quarterback in this situation, right? You want your quarterback making it a more catchable ball.
What if he thought he was going to do one of these?
One of these?
Yeah.
One of those?
Yeah.
Then it's a miscommunication.
Yeah.
Then it's a miscommunication.
Yeah.
Right?
If he was going to do one of those, he would have been there.
Then it's a miscommunication. Both guys share the blame. But you got to prove to me that they were supposed to do one of those.
I think they share it 50-50. It was not a great throw. It's the fact that he let it sail a little bit. But Brandon got his hands on it. If you get your hands on it and you're an NFL receiver, you should catch the football. He should have made that catch. So both of them share the wealth on this one. They should both get half an interception.
Fair. Because I don't disagree with you. If Brandon Ayuk doesn't touch it, it's an incomplete pass.
I think what irritates me the most is as Jimmy drops back, I go, he's got him, and I'm yelling that he's got him, and then he sails it, and I'm just like, he doesn't got him. And then we make Asante Samuel get a pick, which I love me some Asante Samuel, but no.
I did want to bring up something, all right, and this is completely off. This is completely off topic, right, but it is a Florida State guy, Ant, and it's funny that it's the Jets that did this. So we all know that the Jets drafted safety Namza Hazardine.
Yeah.
He is also now playing linebacker for the Jets.
Solid.
I know. It's not only is it solid, I find it the similarities between what the Jets are doing with their organization, it's just literally it's like a carbon copy. It's
49ers East Coast.
It's exactly what it is.
Danos gave Jimmy an F for tonight.
Are you surprised by that?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. He had one drive and he threw an interception. There's absolutely no way he was going to give him anything other than an F.
Correct.
I mean, because it's all pushing. He's pushing everything to one point, right? Once we get to final cuts, and we get to who's going to be the starter, he has to be able to say Kyle Shanahan's just making a bad decision. It's all going to go on to Kyle Shanahan. He either wants Trey. If Kyle chose, if he chose Trey Lance, then the whole narrative will change to, well, why didn't you cut Jimmy Garoppolo? It's a complete mistake. So,
hey, if Twitter was around in 1981, would everyone have gotten on Joe Montana for throwing that ball high to Dwight Clark?
Yeah. You probably, well, he threw 3 interceptions in that game, Horst.
Oh, man.
Could you imagine Twitter throughout that football game? Joe's the worst. Bring back DeBerg. We need him. And then all of a sudden you get this, you get the catch, and then he's the greatest thing ever. That's the only problem with living from play to play, right? Every single play you have a reaction. wait until everything happens in totality and then make your observations.
Correct. I disagree with this take here. Freak Stomp 49er. Our team seems torn between QBs. I see guys breaking the huddle with an FU attitude when Lance is the QB. Leaving before Lance breaks the huddle is kind of disrespectful. Do you see that too? No. Wideouts typically almost always leave the huddle early because they are typically the ones going out on the perimeter on the edge. They also usually have the least amount of things to listen to cue-wise.
Correct.
Because on a call in the huddle, you know almost instantaneously based on after the formation, you're going to get your run or your pass call after that. What it is, if it's a run call, once you know your formation, there's really not a whole lot for you to do other than get out to your spot and then go make your block, unless it's some sort of stretch or outside run play. But again, there's verbiage and keys in there that it's very easy for them to pick up on and know, I'm doing this on this play, or, hey, I'm just running this guy off on a route.
Well, they're also on the road. So they're going on silent count. So there's no reason for them to know a snap count. They're getting out there. They're going on the ball. So they're 100%. The receivers always leave early. This is a nothing. I guarantee you, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, and those guys are just excited to play with Trey Lance as they are with Jimmy Garoppolo, maybe even more so because of the dynamic things he can do down the field.
I saw one scenario in which they broke the huddle, and maybe you're talking about this specific play, Freak Stomp. They break the huddle. Ayuk and Samuel go split out to the right. They're in a stack formation with Ayuk in front and Deebo just behind him and slotted inside. And Ayuk and Deebo both look back at Lance to try and communicate something. Lance says something, and Ayuk throws his hands up frustratingly and then lines up. That could have just been something as simple as Ayuk thought A and Lance told him B. That could be any number of things.
He said it was the O-line.
Yeah, he's saying it was the O-line.
Okay.
The O-lineman left early, which also, depending on how you break the huddle, I used to have my O-lineman leave early on the first call. So.
Jay Ellie says DeBerg to the Chiefs.
That honestly did happen. Yeah.
That is the truth.
That is the truth. If you are 49ers quarterback, you end up playing for the Chiefs.
It's usually how it works.
Probably not now because Patrick Mahomes is going to put a big,
Yeah, Jimmy's not going there.
For that.
No, Jimmy's not going there.
Yeah.
No,
Patrick who?
Exactly.
Is he even good?
Exactly. Yeah, I've heard he's pretty good.
Attitude in the huddle.
Attitude in the huddle. Hey, maybe he's seeing something.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Honestly,
I didn't pay attention to the attitude of the players in the huddle. Maybe he's seeing it. I did not see it.
Something we'll have to watch next week.
Hey, I'll watch back the film and see if I can see it as well. Maybe I just missed it. So that is fine. If that is really something they're doing, an attitude in the huddle, then it's that's a problem. But yeah, Jay Ellie's on it with Bono as well.
Bono indeed.
Yeah.
Does he mean like U2 Bono?
No, I'm pretty sure.
Bono?
I'm pretty sure he's going with Gerback after this. I have a hunch.
Agreed.
Maybe Alex Smith.
Look, if you guys got some questions right now, TCC, throw them out there because otherwise we're going to wrap this up here pretty quickly. We don't want to give away too much, right? We still got other things we got to do for the channel and for you all, for the TCC. So before we get to your questions, start laying them out right now. We'll take about 5 to 10 of them. Make sure you join the Discord server if you haven't already. I just put the link again right there into it. Make sure you vote on the poll if you haven't already. Poll question tonight for the game is, are you worried about the 49ers O-line after tonight's performance? This was a big question and a big concern, right? After week 1 of the preseason, the O-line is trash. The O-line is garbage. Tonight happens. Not a lot of sacks being taken. Run game looking pretty good. Are you as worried now? Make sure you vote in the poll and let us know in the comments section. And it looks like we got a couple of questions starting to roll in. From Brad Jones, weekly rating for the punter, Alex. Wisniewski gets a B tonight. Oof. He had a couple nice punts that had some distance on them. He had a couple distance and height kicks on it. I still am a little bit worried because sometimes when he gets distance on his punts, coverage team is not down there. I don't necessarily blame that on him, but he can help that out by getting that hang time a little bit better. Just a little bit.
Oh yeah, what grade do you give Robbie Gold?
Not good. Not good with an extra missing another extra point tonight. Not good.
It's preseason.
Or is he missing them on purpose to throw other teams off?
Possibly that also. J. Ellie, Tristan Vizcaino, sign him ASAP. Not hitting the panic button on Robbie Gold.
No. Robbie Gold has been automatic for a long time. I'm going to go ahead and roll with Mr. Gold.
Is Morton Anderson available?
Robbie Gold is more clutch than Ari Gold, so.
Ooh. I don't know about that.
David with a boo for Gold.
Wow.
It's a lot.
Of gold. They're acting like he's David Akers already.
Can we?
This isn't Mike Kofor. He's not going to pull it.
Replace Robbie Fool's Gold.
Wow.
Cutback crew, you turned on the man.
They turned on Gold.
Do you not remember what happened when he wasn't in in 2019? We lost to Seattle at home.
You know what they
because
need?
Of this.
Solid gold.
Just a little bit of solid gold.
I'm shocked.
Oh my goodness! I hope we don't see the punter. We don't see the punter all season long.
I agree with
would
Mark.
be
Yeah.
wonderful.
That would be great.
If we don't. Jay in the Bay, how you doing, my guy? How you doing down there? Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Why no RPO with Lance? Is it because it's preseason from Gabriel Clark?
Does he mean RPO or does he mean read option?
Clarify that down in the comment section, and then start with RPOs.
Okay, with RPO, you got the run pass option. A lot of it is because to run that, you have to have a very good grasp of the offense because you have to be able to read a defender, usually a linebacker, and be able to, depending on how he's going to react, you have a run play, and then you can also throw out of it. So it's a run play, and then if the defender acts a certain way, you can throw. And that is what an RPO is, and a lot of times you have to have a guy that's comfortable with it. Jimmy runs it well. A lot of times he'll run RPOs, hit Deebo Samuel and those guys on slants. Brandon Ayuk last year a little bit. But that's the run pass option. As far as the read option, you have a read key and it's a run play. The running back either gets the ball at the, or he's going to pull at the mesh point and he's going to go around the outside. They did run read option today, except for Trey Lance, the read that he got. He gave the ball to JaMychal Hasty. He gave the ball to Wayne Gallman. He did not keep. So they did run read option. It just didn't work out that the read wasn't for Trey Lance to run.
Who's the read key?
The read key is whoever they decipher it should be, Horst. Whether it's an end, a linebacker, or a safety, defensive lineman. It could be a lot of people. If they're running midline, it could be inside.
Why don't you block him?
I know where this is going. It's because he's a read key, man.
Oh.
And Gabriel, the second part of that question was because it's preseason. Part of it is yes, right? Like, if it's not something right now that Kyle Shanahan feels he needs Lance working on because there's other areas of the offense he wants to see Lance execute better, then they're not going to worry about this aspect of this portion of the playbook. And in all honesty, I think the less options you're making Trey have to read on a field, on RPOs, there's a lot of things going through that. Not only do you have your read key, but you also have to be looking past that read key if you decide to pull to see that opening in the defense where you're supposed to put the football. That can be a lot for a young rookie quarterback, especially if you don't feel he's making quick decisions, which I think is one of the issues that we have with Trey right now is that at times he's not as decisive as he could be.
Yeah, I mean, if you know he can already run the ball.
Correct.
You know what he can do in the run game, so why not work on the things that he doesn't do as well, which is play within the pocket, make quick reads, be able to decipher a defense, come to the line, and once again he made a check at the line. It was a bad check, and Hasty got blown up in the backfield. So there are things he still has to learn, and I think that's what we want him to do. We don't need him to run and scramble and do all that stuff right now. He can do that in the future. We already know he can do that. So let's get him working on the things he needs to work on in preseason, so that way he develops. Let's not hinder this guy's development by doing what the Bears are doing and Nagy and letting Justin Fields run all around. Like that's not going to help him improve in the pocket.
It's not. It's definitely not. Here, I'll let you answer this one first, Horst. How are you guys thinking the secondary depth looks after tonight? Brad thought that Lenore looked better than last week.
Two questions there, huh? I think the secondary's fine. You got to remember there's still quite a few guys that they're holding out.
On top of the fact that Verrett didn't play tonight or Manuel Mosley. Yeah.
Verrett, Ward, those guys aren't playing.
Correct.
I think you're actually seeing quite a few guys make plays that aren't. It's not like they got torched for the go 10 points.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
they played well, I thought. Even Emory Thomas, I took the shot at him, but he made some plays. I do agree that Lenore is getting better week by week. He's making plays. Like I said earlier, I thought Hufanga played well. I thought Jared Maiden played well. And as much as we're joking about it, I thought Kai Nakua made a couple nice plays. I think their depth in the secondary is fine. No worries.
That's fair.
Thanks, Frank Stopniner, for clarifying that.
Yep. I think him and Gary was confusing him a little bit there. Megan, after this game, who do you guys think wide receiver 6 is? Or do you think there's a guy that's separating himself from the bottom of that pack?
No, there's no one that's separated. I think it's still a three-person race. It is Travis Benjamin, it is Richie James, and it is Jalen Hurd.
I would say you have Sherfield on the team, right?
Sherfield is 3 or 4. He's right there with Mohamed Sanu, and we've even have Juwan Jennings in that top 5. We think those guys are pretty much secure.
I agree.
And then the question is 6, and I think it's down to those 3. Simba Webster, if you're talking about a straight returner, once again he's in the mix. But I thought that it's not enough, right? He has to do some as receiver.
He had dropped the one tonight as well, and then I'm aware.
Him for that.
I'm aware that it was behind him, but he had the drop tonight. That doesn't help his stock. It doesn't help his status. And then I don't know if it was just a rotational thing, but he didn't get any opportunities tonight to return anything. So his stock is about where it was.
He had a return. He had a pretty nice return on the kick.
That's right. He had the one on the kick.
Yeah, I think he got to like the 25, which is better than Richie James.
Accurate.
But he just, they didn't use him a whole lot today. So
no, he wasn't utilized as much. He didn't get as many chances.
Jalen Hurts hasn't played a single preseason game, and he's in a better position to make the roster than some of the other guys.
I want to know, Coach Timo, you said that you think the only position group we need to work on is special teams. Did you mean that because of Robbie Gould's miss? Because I actually thought the kick coverage was pretty fantastic tonight.
I think he means specifically more in the return game.
It could be. I mean, there are areas where they need to improve. I thought there was a little bit of a better improvement today than there was last week. But I think Tim Ryan also said the Chargers' special teams is not very good. And I wasn't at Thursday or Friday practice, so I don't know that for sure, but it seems that way.
It's true. And look, Lou just said TB. TB is number 6. Travis Benjamin, number 6, Hurd on IR.
Could be.
That very well still could be the case. Although Juwan Jennings dealing with a heel issue, we don't know how serious that is or what that is going to be. Hopefully he's going to be A-okay because he has played phenomenal this preseason.
Yeah, 14 better play against the Raiders, or he's starting on IR.
Yeah, it's the only chance.
If he's not playing, he better be a full go in practice all next week and play in that game, or he is not going to make this roster. He'll start on IR, or he'll be outright waived.
It's true. You're very accurate indeed. Cutback crew, we appreciate every single one of you tuning in for this little reaction show. Not too much, right? Not giving you too much, but just a little bit of a taste. We appreciate all the support. Everyone who super chatted, everyone who's joined the Discord and been participating in that. We appreciate everyone tuning in for the live streams, in the chat, lighting it up. We love it. We thank you guys so much for everything.
Yeah, definitely. This is exciting for another preseason game down. We have one more to get through, and then we can get to the Detroit Lions where all the fun begins, where we go and tame the Lions and absolutely get this season off to a great start. We definitely need these guys to come out against the Raiders in this dress rehearsal and play well. I'm looking forward to getting into this matchup. I think there'll be some exciting matchups that we can actually get into because we're going to see a lot of the first team units from each team. And it's always fun when you go against the Raiders. And the one thing you know is it's going to be dark and cloudy with a chance of drive-by.
Someone had asked if there was going to be some more security at this game. Potentially.
There better be.
There probably is going to have to be. Indeed.
All right, everyone. It was good to be back today. Glad to see you guys.
Yes.
I like you almost as much as you like me.
Nice. I mean, now everyone doesn't like you. JL, yes, 2 videos tomorrow. Face Off at 9 a.m., followed by a recap show at 11.
Don't miss any of it. Make sure you're subscribed. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Just smash it into oblivion. Just do it. All right, hit that notification bell as well. That way you're notified, right? Notified when the videos go live. And you know what? If you're one of those people who's hit that notification bell and you haven't been notified, come join the Discord server.
True.
Every time our videos get posted, you get notified. So you can supplement YouTube, sometimes dropping the ball, by being a part of the Discord. Make sure you do that. This was a fun reaction show, guys. It's good to have the gang back together.
Yeah, and thank for, I think it's HungTac23 Kappa. Thanks for saying the nice things about us and the not so nice things about Thanos. We appreciate it. Thanos, we're hoping we can snap him out of existence, but I got to figure out how to work the gauntlet. Yeah.
The truth will set you free.
Exactly.
We're just assembling right now.
We're assembling. I figured out how to get it to go back in time, but we got to figure out how to do the evaporation stuff in time. It'll get there. But until the next one, 49ers fans and the Cutback crew, you stay safe.
Remember the right way
is always the 49ers way.